That was something new. I was like, okay, cool. But it was 30 minutes, 30 seconds. So, hey, y'all. Hey, and welcome to another episode of Theories and Thoughts Podcast with your hostess, Anya. And
Fancy.
hey, girl.
Hello.
I know it's been one of them days. I'm thinking the same thing. I had just with, I always say Happy New Year. And I started saying Happy New Year to people because people be like, times around the earth and these different things, right? So I just wanted to be different. And I was like, it is a new year. And I put on this guy, the guy who broke my virginity. I actually put on today's his birthday. I put Happy New Year and got a message. And the lady was like, hey, I'm Chris's, his name was Chris.
I'm like, yeah, you definitely put his name out there.
He's deceased. So, I mean, she just was like, I'm his sister-in-law from my sister. He has kids with my sister. I guess had kids with his sister. I don't know what happened. Only thing I know is the girl was like, he died today.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, wow. So I'm sitting at my desk. I just go through and just be like, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, on his birthday.
That's sad.
He had, I think 2 kids. I think he didn't post much, but
I thought you was about to say, because I'm like, why the sister-in-law saying something? I thought that was about to go in a whole different direction. Definitely was not expecting it.
me either. Because when I seen sister, I was not. Because you know how wait, what? And then I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
So, yeah, girl. So, I ain't feel like putting on no makeup.
I didn't either.
I had a crazy day. And as you see, my blotchy skin. Thanks, Dad.
You look beautiful.
Thank you, friend. You do too.
This is a clean face aesthetics.
Listen.
That's been trending on Twitter and Instagram. So
Really? How you be?
I be on Twitter. I have not really been on Instagram, but I actually saw something about it on Instagram because I've been kind of hopping on the Swagger page. But when I said I was trying to take a break from social media, I have been enjoying Twitter. And I'm just starting to enjoy it more because I ain't got to see pictures because pictures be really bothering me right now in the mental state that I'm in. So reading people tweets is a lot better for me. And I get to still talk to people because, I be lonesome. So it's something for me to do.
I don't do Twitter as much as I do. Well, I'm a Facebooker. And I do a little bit of Instagram, but what's so crazy is I was having a conversation. I had a conversation with 2 guys within this week. And it was like, yeah, you post a lot. And one of them was like, is it because of attention? I was like, no. And another one was like,
the theories and thought stuff.
not just that. Just, I just be posting stuff. And another one, well, the guy that I was dating, he told me I post a lot. He was like, you post a lot. I was like, yeah. Ain't nothing crazy. I just post, And this guy that I used to date when I was in college, he and I was having a conversation. He was like, we've been, matter of fact, he's gonna be our guest next week. Talk about gender roles. But he and I have been talking about different ways how women and men communicate and gender roles and different things. That's why I thought it would be a great topic to talk about. How we say we want one thing, but is that really what you want? Like when it's presented to you or whatever. But he and I was talking and he was like, he don't like a woman that's always on social media. And I was like, he was like, it seems like you're looking for attention. I was like, no. He was like, so would you be upset if nobody liked your post? I said, I don't care if nobody, I don't go back to look to see if anybody liked my post. I was like, but you have to also understand that I'm a journalist and I'm an influencer. And because I'm a journalist and I am an influencer, I look up stuff. And if I'm bored, I might just grab my phone. But I didn't went months without using social media. Like I've done a 90-day fast before we started theories and thoughts. I was a 90-day fast, but it's hard to not do it, because we have it's different stories. It's like you got to be talking about it. And even on my personal stuff, it's like you have to engage people because then.
Yeah, my first thought when you were saying this is like, do they have like a business or a brand? Because you do have to be active, And as much as I don't want to be active right now, I still know I have to be active on some platforms. But really, I've been checking out Twitter and LinkedIn because I feel like I'm just kind of, I almost want to say, sick of my audiences on my other platforms. But it is what it is. But I don't know, men always got a problem with something, and I'm kind of worried about how this conversation gonna go, to be honest. Because I'm trying to get this book about overcoming bitterness. I was just kind of doing some self-reflection, and I realized I am kind of headed toward a bitter state, and I'm really just not trying to listen to shit a man got to say right now. So it is kind of, so I'm just hoping I don't be argumentative because I'm not with bullshit right now. I'm just not.
Well,
and I also realized too, I'm in the phase, I kind of feel like I'm entering this phase, whereas I'm not about to be holding back my thoughts or opinions for anybody anymore, because I feel like I have done it in the past. And I actually took part in this heartbreak study that one of my CEO collective sisters was doing this weekend. And that was something that I shared, because I was thinking about that was something that I did recently do. And I'm just like, no, because men are always trying to express their mind about something. And then, I'll be like, oh, well, I'm trying to be understanding. Fuck that. No, you about to hear what I really think about, whatever it is. And if I agree with you, you gonna know, or if I disagree, you gonna know. So
this gonna be good, real good. Well, he knows how I am, and he'll just ask me, what do you think about this? And it was really a question he asked me. What, do I want a traditional marriage, or how would I want it? And in talking to him, I realized I knew I didn't want a traditional marriage. But how do I want this to look? How would I want it to look? What do I want? And something that I realized with me and dating, and the guy I was dating also, he told me he loved when I was feminine. And then I didn't realize how I came off aggressive at times, and how I want you to lead and you make decisions, but I'm gonna make decisions for you. Like, that don't work. Like, how you want somebody to lead and somebody to handle the business, but you want to tell them how to do it? That don't work like that. And it's in good conversation. He's a really good guy, and he has a group. It's called the Mercy Club, and that he's starting to build and everything. And it's really just men and women, what you want, and be honest with yourself of what you want, and different things. You'll learn more about it next week. But I don't know where I'm at in life, So if y'all been listening to our vlogs, y'all know that Fancy and I have been doing a 90-day challenge. It's a journey. It's not a challenge. It's a journey. And the guy that I was dating, him and I decided that it wasn't a good fit. We want two different things. So we're no longer dating. Excuse me. And one of my girlfriends was like, how do you feel? I said, I'm gonna miss him this week. And then next, then it's gonna be like, all right. Because I wasn't in love with him,
I get it.
I enjoyed him. And I'm gonna miss him this week because I enjoyed talking to him and stuff. But I can't let that consume me. It wasn't like he was like, this. Now I can make you feel like that's what it is, but that wasn't what it was.
I totally get it.
He decided, he don't want to be married, and I have a desire to be married. And he was like, we want two different things. Okay.
Well, at least y'all communicated, unlike me getting ghosted. So yeah, y'all, that was what happened with me. So, but it is what it is. Like,
yeah, it was a whole nother thing. I had to tell you about it. I mean, it was a whole conversation. I brought it up. It started with, are you dating other people? Which I already knew he was dating other people because we weren't
Exclusive.
exclusive. So I could talk to whoever I wanted to too, but I just didn't have the time. It started from that, and then it went to, type of relationship you want and different things. And that's the reason why I had kind of tried to break it off before with him, because I was like, we want two different things. And then you come back and now it's we want two different things. So you just wanted it on your, okay, cool. Whatever. I'm gonna miss you this week.
Yeah, I said that same thing, because I just tried to exit my relationship because it was supposed to be a relationship, but yeah.
But that made me think about that. Like, oh, you want it on your terms? Cool. Whatever. Have it your way, baby. Let this be Burger King. So yeah, what you do this weekend?
So as I said, I did participate in a heartbreak study with I can't remember Tanya's last name, but she's a heartbreak coach. And really initially I was just kind of thinking it was going to be about breakups, and then like that was kind of the interesting part of it, because I realized, with my recent ghosting experience, I wasn't heartbroken. But the reason why is because I was still kind of, I guess I still kind of had feelings for the person before them. So, yeah, I just kind of, I did that, and I did a lot of writing, and I watched some great, I don't know if they're all South African movies, but I watched Blood Sisters on Netflix, and something else, because there was some really good movies or series, Savage Beauty. And I just always say it seemed like to me the foreign series be better than the American series, and both of those are really good. So I can't wait till we get a new season of Savage Beauty. But since it just came out, it's probably gonna be a whole nother year. Blood Sisters, you watched it?
I watched some of it.
It was good.
I watched maybe the first 2 episodes.
Oh,
I need to watch it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Hi, Emmett. Oh, what'd you do? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was waiting for you to finish. So let's see. I went back to my part-time job. Now it's not like it doesn't hit different now, because before I didn't need it, and I even more so don't need it now. And so I just be around there, hey y'all, whatever. So I did that. That was Friday and Saturday. Saturday, I think I just came home. Sunday, I don't know what I did. What did I do? Oh, one of my good girlfriends, Javetta, love her. We used to do breakfast dates every month. Like we used to have a breakfast date every month, and we had a breakfast date to catch up. Javetta is one of my girlfriends that I don't have to talk. You know how you had them girlfriends that you talk to all the time, like me and you talk all the time, and then you had them girlfriends that you ain't got to talk to them all the time. Like, but when
that's what I more so have. I get it. You're the person I probably talk to you more than anybody. So yeah.
Well, you have no other choice but to talk to me, honey. Thank you. Because I'd be like, let me see how she doing. And then, I mean, it's so crazy because that's how this podcast started, from us holding those conversations, those different conversations. But
so y'all went to breakfast.
We went to breakfast, and that was good. And then I went to work later. But Monday I went over to Arnitra's house. Arnitra's my best friend. Arnitra is more like my sister too, So I went over there and we went and just hung out. It wasn't no big fanfare. It was just her family, her immediate family, her household, me. They cooked. Food was good. I'm mad I didn't bring me a plate. And we went to her daughter's. Remember, Arnitra's the one with the trans daughter that got killed last year. Mm-hmm. Here, we went to Kiera's grave to say, hey, girl, hey, and her brother's grave. And later on, she put these gates up that she had found, mm-hmm. and put some rocks there. So now they have the little grave. Now have you ever seen it? They decorate the graves. I'm gonna have to send you the picture. They decorate the graves, so it's really unique. Let me see, but it's really unique way of doing things. And let me see if you're gonna be able to see this.
Oh, okay.
So she already had the bench.
Wait, I can't see the bench.
The bench is in the back. Is that?
I think that the tombstone.
Yeah, that's a bench.
Oh, okay. I mean, it looks nice, but I've never,
And
saw it
she
that way. But actually, again, like, I'm just really experiencing a close death, so I don't really,
right.
yeah.
And that's what I told her because Anitra goes all the time to her daughter's grave and to her brother's grave. And I told her, I was like, you always go there. She was like, yeah. I mean, I used to talk to him when they was here. I go and visit him. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because when my grandmother passed, we never went back out to her graveyard, her grave site. When my cousin got killed, we never went back to his grave site. I go and see my daddy now, because it makes me think about that. I go see my daddy when I went to New Orleans. So why don't I go see him, when I come back to visit? So I always make sure I go see my dad. Plus, my dad is, my dad was my heart.
Yeah.
My dad was my heart for so many reasons. So we went and did that, and today is Tuesday. And it's a long day. It's a long week already. Uh, but that's what I did and got in sharing stories with you on this Monique and DL Hughley. Talking to you about that. So apparently over the weekend, Monique and DL had a show together, and Monique in Monique fashion got on the stage and talked about DL. Now here's my problem with her. If you had a beef, why you went on that stage? Why you even stayed, sis? And you always say you for your people, but you always seem like you always want to call out your people. And if you had a contract issue, the contract really, I'm thinking the contract goes through the promoter, not DL. Now, there's different things, and she said that was just a deal sheet, and maybe some things came out today. But I don't like how she handles it. And what was that, skip or run across the stage? Like, what was that? Like, I just feel like she is toxic, and this is why people are not blackballing her. People don't want to deal with that. And when people don't want to deal with that, they're not going to hire you, because then they're going to be like, well, you're going to find an issue, or you might make up some shit and decide that you mad, and now you mad, and now you going to blow up their spot. And nobody wants to deal with that shit. So it's not blackballing. You're doing it to yourself. Fancy.
Yeah. I agree with I just don't think she should have done it. It wasn't a good professional move, and other people are gonna see all of that and see all that back and forth going online, and they're not gonna work with you. And if it was, as you said, it does seem like it might have been something with the promoter, because my whole thing is like, I'm not this big DL fan, and I do like Monique, but it's just like, you have got to work on your public relations, And a lot of people on Twitter were like, it wouldn't have happened if her husband wasn't her manager, like if she had a real manager, she wouldn't be going through that stuff. And then, you got to be thinking long term. Like, other people may, like, they're going to be trying to, they're not going to be trying to work with you, and they see that you're doing things like that. Who else is now going to want to be on a ticket with you? And I think in comedy, in the comedian world or whatever, oftentimes you see how they put those shows and stuff together, and they have that community and stuff. And now, like, you're putting it, you're blackballing yourself within that community, and
right.
Then also it kind of goes to like emotional intelligence, because not like to learn about, but like, really, you don't always have to say everything in that moment. Some stuff you discuss, behind the scenes, right. Like a lot of people are saying, if that's somebody that you could have reached out to in private, why didn't you do it that way? To actually get on stage and talk about the man now, I just don't think that was professional at all. And then we haven't heard anything from the promoters. It's like, I do think that they should maybe say something. But one thing I was looking at is on the image that he shared of his contract, like how it said, what was it, like highest paid, highest paid, highest paid. It was like on there like 3 times or something. And so I'm just curious. Oh, she said that wasn't the actual contract, that was something else. But that just kind of stood out to me, because I'm like, hell, if it normally isn't the highest paid the person that, that's the star of the show. But it also, why does it even matter? I mean, did he say something initially or something? Was it some type of time? Because I didn't understand that part. Was it some type of timing conflict or something? He thought he was going to close out the show and she closed out the show or something.
She, from what I read when on the list of how they performed, she performed right before intermission. And then they had somebody else and then DL. And they both had 45 minutes. DL ain't the one that's paying you, sis. The promoter is. So I don't know. I sat back and just was like, again, if she had that big of a problem, because I couldn't stand to just listen to her. If she had that big of a problem with whatever she had a problem with, why you come on the stage? And then you back talking about Oprah. What do you want for Oprah, sis?
I will say one person did say, because initially when everything came out, people were like, if you always calling other people the problem, then you might actually be the problem. And then somebody did point out, well, Lee Daniels did finally make a statement, saying that in their case, he was the problem. But and then now it almost makes me wonder if he just said that to, just move on past the issue or something.
I think it was.
And it's not, it's like, but at the same time, though, one thing I will say is it's in some ways I feel conflicted about it, because in a lot of ways I do believe that women, like, they were like, some people were talking about how women, are oftentimes I almost want to say mistreated, for lack of a better word, but especially like in the entertainment world. And I get that, but like, you don't have to fight all the time. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, like, let it go, give it a rest, and you don't want to be known as this aggressive person, and then it makes other people also look at, like, oh, all Black women are like that. You know what I mean? But I do commend her for using her voice. I just think that wasn't the way to do it, Like, she could have went live after the show or something and told everybody if she wanted to.
Right. And see, 50 negotiated whatever that was with Lee Daniels. So ain't no telling what those conversations was or whatever. And maybe they did blackball her. But they may have had a right to blackball her. I mean, just because you feel like something is wrong don't mean that that person was necessarily wrong. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he did say it just to shut her up, because everybody's tired of that. So Oprah not going to apologize to you, sis. And every time you do something, you talk about Oprah. Oprah don't care. Oprah don't care what you say and how you feel. And Oprah going to continue making her money. Oprah don't care. I don't care for her that much.
Yeah.
I respect Oprah, but I don't care for her that much. And that's fine. You can feel however way. What is if she starts to sound like the bitter person, the bitter person with that's, if you keep talking about these same things, like, what else is being positive in your life? What else is good? What else is happy? You didn't have to talk about Oprah. You could have talked about whatever you're doing with Lee Daniels. You could have talked about that. Yeah, I thought I was crazy. Like, that could have been a joke. Yeah, I thought I was crazy, but Lee gave me that apology, didn't he? You know what I'm saying? But yet, you want to tear down DL. And DL is like, this is the last thing I'm going to say. This is the last thing I'm going to say or whatever. But I'm tired of her. Like, I'm just tired of her. And I'm trying to be for the people. No, you're not. And then the Netflix special, shoot your shot somewhere else if Netflix is not paying you what you want to be paid. Go somewhere else. Or put it out on your own platform. Like, that's what I be having a problem with Black people. Oscar's so white. Bring your own, create your own
platform.
platform, your own awards. You know what I'm saying? Create your own awards that's gonna highlight everybody. If you feel like Oscar's so white, you see what I'm saying? Why we begging to go to these platforms that you feel like don't want you? So if she felt like Netflix didn't want her or wasn't gonna pay her what she was worth, don't go to Netflix. Go somewhere else. Like, what's wrong with that? I don't get it. And then they're gonna want you after you get them other people. You make them other people a lot of money. And that's when you tell them no.
Well, somebody looked like they called us broke ass hating.
They did, and I don't care. I don't care. You in my comments. You watching my podcast, our podcast. You watching our podcast, sis. I don't care. Just like Oprah.
Thank you, Susan, for the view.
Thank you for a view longer than a minute. Thanks. Now. Wait, I'm trying to say wait, going to another going to the next news story. A woman at a graduation stopped a man from shooting at the graduation. He had an AR-15. Nobody didn't see him walk in with that.
I thought that was saying she had an AR-15. That's why I was, but then it said a pistol. So I'm confused. He had the AR-15 and she had a pistol. Oh, because I was like, how was she just walking around with an AR-15 too?
I'm trying to figure out how he was walking around with an AR-15. I'm trying to pull up an AR-15 so y'all can see what an AR-15 look like.
I had did that before the show because I was trying to understand it. It's kind of a glare, but
I just want y'all to see what this thing look like. Visit. I should have had this pulled up. You know what? Next time we need to have it pulled up so you can just pull it up.
So as y'all can see, it's big and long. So
it's big and long. How he even get in there and nobody ain't call the police?
I'm like, what's with people and shooting up graduations right now? They just had a shooting today at Xavier University.
Right. And then they had one for Carver in New Orleans too. Carver High School graduation. They was fighting. What y'all fight? Why y'all unhappy? Girl, I wanted to put that on my page. What got y'all pissed off?
And they're ruining these kids' days, you know, and I mean, but of course, a bad day is nothing compared to possibly being killed on your graduation day. But I just don't understand it, you know. And these are times when y'all have the elderly people out at graduations, kids there, like people just.
And it was an elderly woman.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I hit up my little sisters because both of my little sisters go to Xavier. You know, one is studying to be a pediatrician and one is studying to be a pharmacist. And I had to text them and make sure they were good. But why y'all pissed off? But what I'm realizing is, you know how they used to respect children and elderly? They don't do that no more.
People don't really respect nobody no more.
Right. And they feel like they got to prove themselves and prove that you still weak. You weak as hell. You weak as hell going up in them people graduation shooting people. Like, that's so stupid. You lame. Now they hating asses. Broke ass hate. Speaking of passing. Rest in peace to Tatiana Miller. Master P and Romeo both post that she passed away. They asked for respect at this time. What I don't understand is how you gonna ask for respect at this time, but then say mental illness and drugs. Now people gonna speculate. Why you just didn't say how the girl passed away?
Yeah, I am. I mean, when you were saying it, that was the first thing that kind of came to mind was the mental health and drugs part. But I don't know. I didn't really know, other than Romeo, I don't really know any of his children, but
right.
At least in my condolences. And just knowing, mental health was involved, that is a sad situation.
They say that she was on Growing Up Hip Hop and Master P had told her that she needs to get her life together, get off of drugs if she's gonna stay in his house. Now, I went to high school with one of Master P's cousins. She was one of my really good friends. I'm gonna reach out and give her my condolences. We was like this, but mental health is very, y'all. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, I put it on. I put the video. Finally posted it. Ben screenshotted and shared it and everything, but please forgive me. But yeah, so that happened, and our thoughts and our prayers are with them. Last week, and I know we didn't put this as one of the news things. The school shooting in Texas, you whatever. Now the man who killed, who shot the intruder, he was getting his hair cut, and his wife texted him and told him what was going on, and he borrowed somebody's pistol right then and went to that school. First of all, if there was an active shooter in there, and y'all outside the parameter. And this one man said, "I'm just gonna go up in here," and he just not walking up.
I thought I hadn't saw that about the haircut. So I thought that they said that the person that shot him was from
Border Patrol. Border Patrol. He was Border Patrol. He wasn't on duty. He was getting his haircut.
Oh,
he was Border Patrol. But Texas, them police are so weak. They weak too, because y'all let that boy be in that school all that time, and then y'all lied about it. That's how y'all know y'all wrong.
Yeah.
And I love Beto, and I'm gonna vote for him again. This is gonna be his second or third time running for governor, and I'm gonna vote for his ass.
I'm not gonna lie. After that shooting and hearing you always talk about Abbott, it kind of made me think like, I really wanted to move to Texas, but I don't want to I don't really know if there's a difference between Texas and Louisiana right now because
Beto walked up in Abbott's press conference. And confronted him. Your boy posted it too. The one that's out there. Who's on the show, but he had a
but we definitely not my boy, and I don't know him. So
doing this with you today. Why are you acting like that? That is your boy. Okay, that's not your boy. I'm just being facetious. But Beto walked up in there, was like, told Axel what he gonna do about gun control. Excuse me. Trump and that other boy, Ted Cruz, who wants to be white. Do you know Ted Cruz be going hard about the border, and his wife grandparents were immigrants.
But when you say he want to be white, is Ted not white?
No, he's Hispanic.
Wow. That never even crossed my mind. Like, I never even thought about it until you just said it. But
you never seen a picture of him?
Yeah, I have. I just never it didn't cross my mind. I just look at him as a white man. I guess his demeanor is of a white man.
It's like a white man. And Trump told him he was weak or something, but you always up Trump's ass. I don't understand. So what's his name? Governor Hot Wheels was supposed to go to the NRA conference, but declined. Ted still went and Trump still went.
I think they all of a sudden said that Abbott had a scheduling conflict. They said a lot of the senators all of a sudden said that, but
you know why? Let me tell you why. Because Beto went up there. Beto went to that press conference and got in his face. And he said, "This is not the time to be discussing that." He said, "When will be the time?"
Exactly. And that one whole that little thing about the one entry to the schools, like, come on now. And then what if there's a fire? So now all the kids gonna still be trapped inside. Like, that doesn't do anything. That doesn't help the solution. But I will say, one thing I want to be doing before the summer is out is getting my own gun, because I want to make certain that I can protect myself. Then after that, I'll be all for all the other gun rules and restrictions and laws. And then I've been seeing all these videos and photos I've kind of been on TikTok a little. I forgot I kind of have been on here, but it's been showing me nothing but stuff that I don't want to see. So I was getting upset with it. Like literally just all white people stuff. And I just, I was just like, this does not resonate with me. But seeing these babies and kids with guns, and I'm like, I do feel like they are building up this, arsenal that a lot of Black people, us as the Black community, will not be able to compete with, and that's a scary thought. But I do also believe that we do need better gun control laws. There is no reason for any civilian walking around to have an AR-15. Like, what do you need that for? And one thing that somebody pointed out, like, because people were on Twitter, like, why are they having to do DNA testing for the kids and the parents to, see, to identify the kids? And somebody was like, because if you've ever seen the damage of an AR-15, you know that you can't identify the person. And it just like really hurt. Like that just kind of hit me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I just, we really need to do better.
Here's my thought. Sandy Hook happened over 10 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the rest of these didn't happen. We've had them here in Texas too. In 2020, they passed a law that you don't even have to have a license in order to buy a gun, in order to carry a gun. It's open carry, and you do not have to have a license over 21 here in the state of Texas.
So how are they verifying their age then? With an ID or something? I mean,
I'm saying a gun license.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, obviously I've never bought a gun, but okay.
But I know how to shoot. I've taken classes. I know how to shoot, and I plan on buying me a gun. And you can open carry anywhere. Like one time at Home Depot, there was like somebody had said something, and one of the customers had said something, and one of the other customers raised up his shirt and said, "Is there a problem?" And I wasn't right there at the time, but I often wonder, like, even working there when I worked customer service, I asked them, I said, what is the procedure if somebody came in here shooting? And nobody don't have none. But what I couldn't understand was how the boy got in the school, because any school I didn't went into, you had to damn near give your DNA in order to get in the door. But they say he went through the back or something like that. So it's just, I don't want to hear nothing from no senator in Texas, this damn governor, none of that about no gun control, because y'all passed that law just two years ago. 2 years ago. That nobody don't have to have nothing, like you don't have to have nothing. And and they just try to appease these white folks out here. That's it, that's all. Real quick, what time is it?
7:40. It is the wind down, so like
Right, but we've been having good conversation. So the last news story I have, I was conflicted and I didn't really care for it. There was a video of a woman. She got married and she broke up her bouquet, and she was like, all her single friends, instead of giving her bouquet to one person, she wanted to give a piece of her bouquet to everybody and acknowledge her single friends. And I get what she's trying to do, but I'd have been like, girl, I'm about to go sit down. I would have been like, girl, I'm about to go sit down. No, we're not doing this. Because I feel like she's married and she don't have to acknowledge them. Like that could have been a phone call or something like that. And I get it was beautiful, whatever. And she prayed over him. I like that. She could have did just one prayer and did the toss. But she handed it to everybody, and that was cute or whatever. It wasn't my thing.
Well, I did say, I thought it was different. But I didn't really have a problem with it per se. I just kind of hope that for me, I would just looking at it, I'm just like, okay, I just pray that your marriage is all that you're expecting it to be. because I kind of feel silly if, if it's not, and you done did all this, like you done graduated and left some people behind, and and you got to make certain that you look out for them. But it was kind of nice though, in a sense.
Those words, you called out them words. She was like, I'm not gonna leave my single girlfriends behind, and I'm celebrating you, sis. I'm not acknowledging my singleness right now. We celebrating you.
And you know what? Like, cause I was like, how many single friends do you have? Were you the only person out the group to get married or something? I don't know, because that was a big ass circle too. Now that I think about it, I just skipped through the video. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it was a big deal, because everybody just waiting to be married or something. But I'm just starting to think, I don't think I'm gonna be getting married. So yeah.
I mean,
if you get married, you ain't got to worry about me. You don't have to do no special try to break your bouquet down or nothing.
I'm breaking my bouquet down for you, sis. I'm gonna hand you the whole. Here you go, fast. I'm like, but you know what? I want to be married, but I'm not holding my breath. You know what I'm saying? Like, people make it seem like when you single and you want to be married, you're desperate. And I'm not desperate. I want to be, just like if I say I want that Lamborghini. Nobody ain't gonna say I'm desperate. They're gonna say, pray, do the things that it takes to get that Lamborghini. But so why, whenever I say I'm single and I want a mate, I want somebody to spend my life with, then I'm desperate? You sound stupid. That's it. That's all. This month was Mental Health Month, and we had a plethora of guests. Our first guest was talking about mental health. It was Nikki of Rally Up Magazine. She gave us some great information. The magazine started from her daughter, who had tried to commit suicide several different times. And it was her way, in her learning different ways to help her daughter and help herself first, so she can help her daughter. She created with Rally Up Magazine. I thought it was a great conversation. She really gave some good advice and different things. And I love to see whenever she didn't just see, that's what I'm saying. She shared the information. She didn't make it seem like, oh, I've graduated, so now let me give you this information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was, let me help you, because I had to help myself, and I'm still trying to find out,
Yeah. And actually just the way that she talked about, just learning more, it just made me think like, dang, it's a lot more I could possibly be doing to learn how to better, deal with my bipolar disorder, just to be better informed. Like, she made me want to be more informed. So I commend her for that. And just yeah, I think that's a really, because it wasn't even her situation, but just to be a better parent to her daughter. I really commend her for that.
That's what I love. But that's when you go out. That's something like our good sis out in Atlanta, Libra.
Yeah.
Libra become an advocate for your kids, so you learn so much. So you can be a better parent, so you can know what to do in different things. So hats off to all the parents out there that's learning more, so they can educate themselves, so they can help their children better. And you know what? You're a different type of bipolar. You don't, a lot of people think whenever you bipolar, you have a mood swing and you just aggressive and you lie, and you're mean and stuff. You just get quiet. I mean, you don't be wanting to be bothered, but you just get quiet.
No, I do get mean out to him. This might be kind of what you're saying now, but I really have, worked at it, and my medication. I'm really, with my medication, most times I'm not, I don't really react the way I used to react. But when I'm not on it, and I realized even, I just interviewed someone the other day for the Higher South, and she was just saying, like, if you take medication, you will get to that point where you think you don't need it anymore, but don't stop taking it unless you're you're professionally advised to do so. And I was like, you just hit the nail on the head, because you really do. And I've just kind of recently experienced it, and my therapist and the diagnostician was like, get back on your medication. It was just like, girl, what are you doing? Like, okay.
What's that time that we but I'm still saying, I knew you before you got diagnosed. and you still, yeah, sometimes you snap, but I don't think you snap more than I snap. And I ain't diagnosed with shit. No, I'm diagnosed with PCOS. I mean, I have mood swings, but it's just a difference. I just feel like it's a difference than what people feel like bipolar is. Nobody will never know that you don't have bipolar unless they really just sit and watch your mannerisms and stuff. Because baby, when you ready, you ready. You don't want to be, But that's just feel like that's everybody. Because when I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to be bothered. That's just life, you know. Next up, we had Patrice and Devin. They talked about teenage love and the effects that it can have on your current relationships. And I like how Devin and I need to pull that clip. The clip that I was planning on pulling was when Devin was talking about how men need to be in men's lives, being boys' lives and everything. And I think that has a lot to do with even teenage love. Like, because if a man teaches his son how to court a woman and how to date, they won't be so hypersexual and think that that's the only thing. So then you get grown men who understand how to take care of a household, how to love his woman and different things. And they're not just so hypersexual. Let me have this sex or whatever. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And especially as a mom of a young man, I definitely wish that he would have had more male influence. But I do try to talk to him about just like, we're not necessarily dating, but just like how to treat a woman, And I think that just with my son, one thing that I've kind of noticed is that I think he does see, because he saw things in my past relationships, and like, he tries to do better than it. And I'm proud of him for that. But at the same time, I still know it would have made a world of difference had there actually been a man in his life. He'd probably just have more, just know more stuff. But because there's just a difference. I think that, like, I don't think we fully know how different men and women are, but I just think we're very different, totally opposites. But I also like when Devin, I like the fact that he was receptive to what Patrice said, because I know, like, there's been guys that I've encountered from my past, and I might have said something like, oh, you really hurt me or something. These dudes be like, man, I know you playing, I ain't with it. It wasn't even really, and he didn't seem like he was like that. He was
right.
Like, like, oh, I really had that type of impact on your life. And, that says a lot about him.
Yeah, it does. It said a lot about him as a man and his upbringing.
Yeah.
But like you said, men and women are very different. And although a woman can raise a man, a woman can show a man how to be a man. And a lot of times children pick up on how you act and not what you say. They watching your actions and things. So, my friend, one of my girlfriends, she's in a relationship with this guy, and she knew him from a child. And she was like, it was him and his dad and his brothers or something like that. And his mom and his sister were the only women in the house. And they catered to, his dad catered to his mom and his sister, and they catered to him. And she was like, so I understood that, now that we're in a relationship, this is the man that he is, and I can trust that and that's how he is. He caters to her, because we're walking Bibles, walking images of things for people to see and different things. Even with Chloe has told me that, I need to stop being so mean. She was like, well, I mean, you always mean, and it stopped me, damn, am I mean? And sometimes I don't even realize I'm being mean in what I say. And that's some of the conversations that me and JF had, the one for next week. He's like, well, you could have said it like this instead of like that, and it got across. But the way that you said it, it was real aggressive or whatever. And I'm learning. I'm walking in my femininity, if nothing else, but for myself. Next up, we had Monette. of Dallas Behavior Health come on, and she said that there is no definition for mental illness. I would have never known she was a cutter. And just her whole story. And something that she said, she was like, it starts from a behavior and then it becomes mental illness. It's a trauma and then it becomes a behavior and then it becomes a mental illness, because a lot of times children experience traumas, and if it's not dealt with as a child, it becomes a mental illness. So all mental illnesses you are not born with.
I didn't catch that, but just you saying it makes me think. But I did enjoy speaking with Monette, and also she shared some resources and some facts as well about mental health that I thought were really useful.
Yes, and remember, you guys can catch the replay anywhere you catch podcasts and on Swag Hers YouTube page. Last but not least, it was Erin. Erin is usually in the comments. She must have something going on tonight. Or Brandy. They're usually in the comments, but we had been trying to figure out when was gonna be the perfect time for Erin to come on. And May was it. Erin had graduated college. Her daughter had graduated from high school, and her son was graduating college too. So it was a beautiful thing. Erin is a great resource. You know, I've been knowing Erin since high school. She's always been that person, always driven, dedicated to, okay, if this is what this is what it's gonna be. You know, and I love her energy. I love, you know, just the things that she was saying. She said you have to have your core values. And that made me, was like, we may not call it core values. I know I don't call it core values, but I use something like that when dealing with my clients. And, you know, we're dealing with people like, okay, what are your staples? What's your foundation? You know, I pretty much call it foundation of your staples, but she called it core values. But I like how she used that. Because if you keep coming back to your core values, and like she said, they can always change at times, but you have to just stand on that. So,
yeah, I thought her interview was good. Also, just when she was saying, you know, like you have to be willing to invest in yourself, and I really feel like that's something that a lot of us, especially Black business owners, do not be wanting to do. You know, and I
need to
possibly
right
do
now.
a whole podcast on it, because I feel like I've been lately feeling the strain of it. You know, like one thing I've kind of been noticing with clients is people saying, like, agreeing to one price and then all of a sudden trying to come back and set another price. You know, like, oh, I can't. Well, that kind of makes me feel like you feel like my services aren't worth what I said. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of how I'm starting to feel about it. And yeah. And I realize it's not something I'm gonna keep allowing to go on either. So
we're gonna do an Invest in Yourself podcast. Let's do it the first week of July.
Okay.
You gonna be the guest?
I don't know about that one. Well, yeah, I could do that.
I mean, unless we'll grab some. We'll work on that.
But also, just even with you saying it, made me think about too. Erin was talking about, you know, like people also, one way that they could invest in themselves is getting coaches, and you know, people just, I don't know,
they just don't. You know, my girlfriend who does the Walk of a One with me, she actually is my coach. We do barter. You can always barter your services. I produce her show, her radio show that she has going on now. And she coached me in business and in life. She's a wife coach, but she also deals with business stuff too. That's all a part of, you know, becoming the wife that you want to be or what have you, Suzanne. And to be honest with you, a lot of times you can barter, but if you don't open your mouth and if that person don't need your services, that's something different.
Yeah.
You know, but it works out for us. And I agree. If you want me to break down, I don't ever. If you tell me this is your price, this is your price. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? I was planning on doing your class, joining your group.
Oh, vibrant visibility.
Yeah, but I don't think I had the time.
Okay,
So we'll just step out and do it, huh?
I'm like, you know, I would not make you pay for that though. But yeah.
But still, because I try to, that's the thing. We each other try to always support one another. And I was like, I don't have the time. And that's me understanding I don't have the time because I have to make time for my businesses and stuff. But yeah, that's that. Erin was really good. Erin is the head of marketing for the Candy Lady Cosmetics, and we always use the Candy Lady. So we're always wearing it. Neither one of us have it on today. Today was wind down. So that's everything that happened this month, the news stories that caught our attention this week. If you ever want to be a guest on the podcast, email us at theoriesandthoughts@ladyceo.com. Lady spelled with the I, CEO.com. As for me, this Thursday, we have the Walk of a Woman. My our, shall I say, MUA Autumn will be showing a basic makeup look. Makeup, no makeup look. So I think we're almost sold out. And it's free. The Walk of a Woman is free. We just need to know how many people are gonna be there. We will have some hors d'oeuvres. Per se. Also, I'm always looking for entrepreneurs to highlight, and because we're doing a new thing, it's called Spotlight an Entrepreneur, where you can sponsor that Thursday. This one I'm doing fully, but the next one, whoever sponsors it, they'll be in charge of maybe some drinks and food, and just showing off their business. So we have the audience, we'll bring the audience, and yeah, it's like about 25 people. So it's a good look. Yeah. As for me, you can find me at ladyceo.com. My Instagram is lady spelled with an I.ceo. Clubhouse Lady CEO. My email is arnya@ladyceo.com. Remember, Lady CEO is spelled with an I. Fancy.
And you all can find everything Swagger Magazine at swagger.net, and of course all of our social media platforms is Swagger Magazine. And then for myself personally, everything is Fancy Swagger, but my link tree is Fancy Stocks. And yeah, that's it.
All right, y'all. I have it pinned up, but it looks a mess. I don't know. Today's just been a day, but we're gonna get to it. Fancy, you got anything coming up?
No.
How was your event?
It was good. We broadcasted via Facebook, so it's on there if you guys would like to check it out. But I learned some interesting things from the woman, and Lorinda did a beautiful poem before she started speaking. And it was also an opportunity for one of my clients, my new client Cindy from Marabu Cosmetics, to speak. And like she was just talking about, because she's originally from Haiti, and she was sharing how how mental health is viewed in Haiti. And it just made me think. And then she was also talking about how like they really don't have, the resources and things like that to treat mental health in Haiti. So it was really interesting.
Wow, I missed it. I really, really hate I missed it. You want to shout out some of these people that say hello?
They probably gone now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, y'all have a good one. Next week we'll see y'all. Bye.